subscribe, love, like. We're sponsored by the Spunk Lube and rebroadcast by the Demon Seed Radio Network. We could not do any of this without you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Please give us that bump. Porn Stars Are People podcast. I'm Dan Frigolette. I'm here with Ashton Blake. Thank you for doing this interview.
Oh, you're welcome. I'd love to.
I appreciate it. How many Exxxoticas have you been to? That's where
this
we're
is
at.
my fifth.
Fifth Exxxotica.
Yes.
In New Jersey or total?
Total. I've been to Chicago also. But I like this one the best. It's more fun.
Yeah. Now I'm detecting, and I may have overheard, a little bit of Pennsylvania
Oh, absolutely.
in your accent.
Thank you for not saying New Jersey. I'm not saying New Jersey's bad.
No, you know what's funny? So I'm from upstate New York, and so now that I'm in New Jersey, if people meet me in New Jersey and they just think I don't talk like them, they just assume that it's some Jersey thing. So that's probably what happens to you when you come to New Jersey.
When I go to Los Angeles, that's all I get.
They think you're Jersey.
Oh, please.
Interesting.
Yeah,
See,
I find it a little rude.
Yeah. See, I know the nuance of Pennsylvania because one of my best friends in college was a Wooder. He would say Wooder, and then my sister married a Philly guy.
Okay.
And then, so where are you from?
But Philly is not the same as Pittsburgh.
No, for sure. Right.
Yeah.
So you're from Pittsburgh.
Yes, I am.
Nice. My sister and her husband went to Duquesne,
Okay.
which is very cool. So I spent a fair amount of time in Pittsburgh. I very much like that place.
They're good people.
Yeah. Pittsburgh is a very specific and deliberate American city.
Absolutely.
It has like all of the things
Yes.
that you would ask of a city. Now, you aren't currently a Pennsylvania person. Are you out?
No, I still live in
You're still in
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania? Okay, cool.
I'm still here.
Nice. Very cool.
I'm
Very
not
cool.
going anywhere. I'll fly, but I'm going home.
Yeah. Very
Always
cool.
going home.
Nice. So you were. It always amazes me. What was I gonna say to you? So while you're here, are you signing with anybody? What are you?
Inked Angels.
Very
and
cool.
I believe also Streammates because that's who I work through.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Now, are you going to the Inked Awards?
I didn't have any plans to. I may, but
Okay.
that could change.
Okay, I'm hosting them.
Nice.
I literally kind of just found out because I wrote the script on the notion that other people were gonna also present, and then I found out that it's mostly me. So
Do it.
I'm freaking out.
Why not? Have a good time.
No, it's gonna be
with
great.
it.
I mean, I can do it. It's fine. I'm just freaking out because I didn't know that was gonna be.
No, you got it.
So that's cool. So that's cool. So wait. So you got in town today?
Yes, I did.
Nice. And have you been to the conference yet?
No, I'm going to go afterwards.
Nice.
I'm going to go take a little peek.
Yeah. Friday's weird. Weird vibe Friday.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like free. It's free Friday for ladies, and it's like anytime I can get parking, I'm kind of like I should come back because that's how crazy it is. Yeah, it's like you should be like if you're not parking on the grass and like far away from the building.
I'm taking the shuttle.
Yeah.
I'm
no,
not
that's what we do.
No, because Mama's going to go have a drink, and then I'm going to get on the shuttle. I'm going to go over, get my IDs and come back
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Nice. So it's a wild experience in that space in particular because I went to Chicago this year. It's not that it's tamer, but just the way a convention center is laid out, like
I don't think it has as
sets
much
the pace.
energy.
Here.
There's not as much energy in Chicago.
Right.
I felt like there was here. And
Right.
it's more fun because everybody's engaging.
Right. It's impossible to do an episode of this on the floor in New Jersey, whereas you can find a pocket in Chicago.
Right.
Like that's literally, it's that much more crazy here.
Exactly.
And again, it's just set up that like there's no place to hide. You're in it. You're just in it the whole time.
And that's what makes it so much fun.
Yeah, yeah. It's really cool. It's super cool. Like now having gone, this is my third, having gone, and then finally feeling like accepted and like just recognized by the community. Because when you first start in an industry that you're not in, and you're even just doing an interview, whatever, like you just feel like an outsider. So I would go and just kind of like hide.
Were you shocked when somebody actually noticed you?
You know what's fucked up? I literally got recognized just now,
Yes.
And it was for all of the wrong reasons. I walk into the conference room, and this girl goes, "Hey, are you Dan?" I go, "Yeah." And she goes, "I thought so. We matched on Tinder." And I was like, "No,
Well,
no."
you know, is this a positive? Could it be a positive? Or are you afraid? Should we
No,
put this
'cause-
on the back burner?
No, because it's like, if we matched and didn't meet up, there's probably a reason, right? Like, I don't remember all of our interactions, and I've been making the mistake lately, where I'm going back out on dates with people that it didn't work out with in the past.
Trying to work it.
I just don't know why, because I don't remember always why it didn't go good. And then what happens is, as soon as you start hanging out with the person again, you immediately
You got
remember
an oopsie. You've got an oopsie.
why it stopped the first
Oh,
time.
what do I do now?
Yeah, well, no, you just go, oh, well, now it's more because you go, hey, now I remember why we stopped talking, and I still feel that way, so it's got to stop. Like, whatever thing you were doing that made me feel how whatever, that it's it just doesn't mesh with me, and I got to be out. And now, and I'm adult enough to, understand that.
Well, you have to do it because you're worth it, right? Because you don't want to end up in even a play relationship that isn't kosher.
It's just like when you see that it's exactly the same, you know that it's going to end the same, so you may as well end. Because you go in every relationship hoping that it's not going to end.
Unless you can just get a sex buddy.
Yeah, but it's like, if the sex was that good, it would have ended way worse. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I would have hung in there.
Just don't have conversations.
Yeah, I would have hung in there, right? What's your story? Can we talk about your personal life?
Yes.
Are you married?
I'm married.
You're married. How long you been married?
20 years.
What's the secret?
What's the secret?
Yeah.
Drive each other completely crazy.
Okay. And then how do you resolve?
How do we resolve it? We're best friends, so
Yeah.
we have a good time together. Friends argue, they get along,
Yeah.
and they always, make it work. So
Yeah.
I think that's the secret. You got to be friends.
I really do think there's like a theme that I've been noticing. As a comedian, I'm always looking for these universal truths in the world. And as a theme I'm noticing, it's like sometimes the way that we treat the people that are supposed to be the most important is not the way we treat anybody else. So it's almost like family members and best friends. I think we think that they're never going to leave us, so we
You beat them up a little bit.
beat them up a little bit, and then but I also think we're more honest in the process, and we're more forgiving at the same time.
Oh, absolutely. I agree.
Because it seems like the way people date now is you get 3 mistakes and people are out. It's like,
I shared with a friend of mine, I told her, I said, honey, I said, if somebody said something bad about you, I would totally back you up the whole way. But as soon as they leave, I'm going to tell you what a bitch you are.
Right.
Because I love you.
Right.
I love you enough to tell you the truth.
Right.
But I'm not gonna degrade you at that particular moment.
I was backing you up here, but she's not wrong. Right. What she said is kind of how I feel. That's funny. I like that. That's cool. So, did you meet in Pittsburgh? Is he a Pittsburgh guy?
Yes.
Nice. I really do think there's a couple cities that still have the resonance of what an American city was about, and
Pittsburgh definitely is about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We just managed to stay together.
Yeah.
It's friends. We've had fun. We've done stupid shit. We've done.
Is he here?
Stuff. No, he's not. But it's just we've shared a lot of our experiences together. So we grew. And as you get older, you grow together, and you learn how to. Yeah, sometimes you want to punch each other in the face, and sometimes you want to kiss. But hey, that's the way it goes.
Do you find that now that you're 20 years in, and that's 20 married? So you knew him before that?
Yeah.
So it's how long total?
Probably 25, 30,
25,
maybe
30
more.
years. Do you find that problems that when you were mid-20s were problems now are you just go, it's not worth the fight? It's not worth the energy?
Yes, you pick your fights.
Yeah.
And you also start to realize that you can't change somebody that you're with. You have to accept either you're accepting of what they are, or you step away and you leave.
Yeah.
So those are your options.
Yeah.
My mother always said to me, she said, you'll know if you had enough. And
Interesting.
So what's
I've
enough?
only heard it the other way, where moms go, "You'll know when they're the right one, but you'll know when you've had enough." That's brilliant.
No, it's the cold truth,
Yeah.
isn't it? Because nobody wants to be miserable.
Who's your mom's ethnicity?
Slovak.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. You'll know when you've had enough. That's that's
Well,
wise.
because you think about when people grew up in the 40s, the things that the women went through then is different than what we go through now
Right.
because our point of view is different
Right.
as a woman.
It's a good way to put it. Yeah, yeah. I think the big takeaway in the past and with relationships that did work was that there was like more defined roles. Relationships now, everybody's trying to do everything
Yes.
because we're all independent, so we can do all the things. But there was something good about having roles, and maybe we did something dumb, like we made them about like what the gender was and cooking and this and getting money. It's like, and we put those on certain people. But either way, you each had a thing you were supposed to accomplish at the end of the day. And if you didn't get it done, then you go, hey, why didn't you get your part done? And so it's like, speaking as a man, I'd be happy to be on the cooking and cleaning side of like, I'll get shit done if the other half is covered. To only have to cover half of the things and be a team is kind of nice.
I agree with you because I feel that's how my relationship is. I like outdoor things. I like cutting grass. I like doing yard work.
Yeah.
He likes cooking.
Yeah.
Go right ahead.
Hell yeah.
Go right ahead. I'll
Yeah.
clean those dishes and I'll cut that grass. I think whatever works for you, you should go for it.
Right.
I don't think that we are all have to be in a certain role.
Yeah.
Any way you want to look at it.
Dating right now, thank God you don't have to deal with it. It's
I don't even, if I would get divorced today, I don't believe that I would ever try to create another relationship
impossible.
like
yeah.
this.
Yeah.
No. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I would be too set in
Yeah.
what I like.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
and
know
it's
if
just
I could
impossible
change.
now because it's like we're drawing from too many things. So like we look at like the relationships that we love, like our grandparents' relationship, and then we try to apply that to now, which is never going to
can't.
work.
It doesn't.
And then so it's like we take a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and they don't work together. You
No.
can't both be independent and rely on somebody for this, you know what I mean, for these things.
Right.
So that's where it seems like people are bumping into a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I don't have a solution for that.
No, there's
I don't
I'm not
feel
saying
bad
there's an answer, yeah.
for people that don't have a relationship right now because it's so difficult
Yeah.
to find someone that's going to fit into what you want your lifestyle to be like.
Right.
And also, remember, like I said, we'd been together for many years. We didn't know. I don't think we knew what we wanted when we were in our
Right.
20s. You don't even know what you want in your 30s. You start to really, as you get into your 40s, I think you start to question, well, what do you want?
Right.
And then what do you want out of it all?
Yeah.
And my thing is, I don't want to grow up, and I want to be a kid, and I want to have fun,
Yeah.
and I don't care how old I get.
It is weird that little kid part of us dies a lot because there's just so much on the come up that's like no, behave this way, like make sure you do this, like do that, like
Do that first, but you can still have fun.
Yeah, but I really
Let go a little bit.
I feel like manners made people be more rigid and become almost like sad because it's not really in manners to be fun and silly. Like it's not part of manners, you know?
I don't know if manners is really the issue. I think it's your venue. Because when do your manners change? When you're in a group of people that isn't a vanilla lifestyle, it becomes more acceptable to be unacceptable.
Sure. What's what I mean? So it's like, but like everything on the come up was like get a job, become stable, and it's like to do those things. It's to mute yourself down and just be part of this hierarchy.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
But there's a part of you that always wants to be. There's two different like doorways. You have your lifestyle on this side, you're vanilla, you're controlled, you're very courteous.
Yeah.
And then you have your other side. I think that's where adult entertainment comes into play because we want to let loose. We want to do things that are maybe not the norm to have fun because we're allowed to indulge ourselves that way. I think you should be allowed to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the adult industry is allowing, let's say, put it from your perspective, like pieces of people that otherwise would have died to like live or reignite. And it's also like, I don't know, the big thing that I find with these types of weekends is like the amount of acceptance is crazy. And it's fun to watch couples go and like they're shy and they're like going together and whatever, and then they go up to like their favorite person, or they'll like go to like the dungeon and they'll do some stuff together, or they'll buy a sex toy together, and there's just something fun to like open up that side of it, because every part of like hierarchical society says keep your sexuality out of everybody else's eyes, right? It's like put that part of yourself away, not in public.
I don't think that's going to be the norm from now on. I
Right.
think it's changing a lot.
Right.
We need, I think, even for women, because it was always, oh, don't do that.
Right.
You shouldn't do that. It's not ladylike.
Right.
Well, why is it that men can, do or say certain things, and it's not okay for women? We're coming to, like you had said,
Right.
again, a pathway where we're coming into a joining together, so the men and the women will have the same
but
type
then
of
also,
rights
but
of interest.
even the fetish stuff, like if we just view it from the men's side, there were things that men, like, it's like you still had a line, even whatever the thing, there was still
Yes.
that line, and then it was like, okay, but don't fuck feet. It's always like okay, but don't, right? Like okay, but don't. And it's like, and so again, like getting, like, I think having the content, having the people creating the content creates this need and creates this, like you were asking me off cast, like, how do you know if, like, you're into, like, the Dom lifestyle? Like, right? It's like, and a lot of it is like, how, it's like throughout your life, the spectrum changes, like, and your flavors change and what you're
I
into
agree.
changes. And so it's like, maybe you don't know. And you don't know until you're involved in it.
I agree, because I think you'll be in it, say you agree to do something, and then I've had moments where I know that, I mean, I'm cool with it, but it's not really my thing.
Yeah.
But I'm okay. I'm okay with it. Go
Right.
ahead. Have fun. I'm a watcher, so those things don't bother me. As long as no one, I'm not really good with anything where pain is involved. But, if that's your thing, go for it.
Yeah.
Not me. Not
No
my
pain
thing.
for you.
No.
Interesting. Now you don't have how do I want to phrase this? What angle am I going with this thing? Were you a bodybuilder? You had a physique that was very that's very specific and.
No, I love working out.
Yeah.
I've always done it. I actually got into it after my thyroid. I had a thyroid condition, and it helped keep me from going into a depression.
Okay.
So I think that's why I got into fitness.
Yeah.
Not so much as because of the look,
Right.
as much as a physical need to feel good.
Yeah.
Like be well.
Yeah, but it is interesting. So it's like some people, but it's like, because the threshold for pain is different, because the pain that you're happy with the day after a workout, maybe people that have the other kind of pain are not into. Do you know what I mean? So you have a threshold for pain, but it's like it's a terms contract, right? So some people love the administering of pain for pleasure when somebody else is involved, and maybe that dynamic, whichever side they're on. But you correct me if I'm wrong. Do you think you've been sorer than most people probably
Okay.
to be in shape, right?
Okay.
And you enjoy that pain, right?
No, it's a payment for the work that you put in.
Okay.
It's
Right,
but I don't know if I call it enjoyment.
but it's a positive, right?
Yes, satisfaction.
Yeah.
Because you accomplished something that you otherwise wouldn't have done. You made the goal for yourself. But
Right.
I'm
I'm phrasing it wrong, but we're
I
right.
know you're trying to make them correlate.
No,
with
I'm
one
saying we're right
another,
on the same highway, right? But I just think there's
but
a
their highways are going two different directions.
I know you think they are, but I can't figure out how to get on the same exit. But it is interesting. No, because I agree with you. Because I don't, sexually and sexuality wise, I'm not interested in feeling pain. And I don't have a problem if I'm dating somebody who that's their thing. I'm happy to do what they're into, right? But it's not something that I ever like could understand because I don't like it. I don't like and I don't know what the thing about it I'm not into.
Right, right. I mean, I really can't get into it because I don't have any reference. I've watched other people do it. I've talked to other people in the lifestyle
Yeah.
that do BDSM. It's no different. It's no different than me talking to transgenders and how understanding how they knew that this is what they wanted to be.
Right.
And that's a real commitment as far as I'm concerned, because I've always been a woman, but to really want to be something else, you really definitely have to know.
Yeah.
I think it's a tough life.
It's interesting because it's like it's hard to have the conversation because we all have certain gifts physically and we have certain like detriments physically that maybe we can change, maybe we can't, or maybe we accept, maybe we don't. So it's hard not being a trans person and understanding the fact that they know definitively, right? Like I accepted that I'm not, whatever, this is a bad example, right? But like I accepted I'm not 7 feet tall, and so I live the lifestyle of a person who's 5'10". But it's like again, bad example, but to know that you're supposed to be 7 feet tall and be committed to that and go through with that process
Right.
with sexuality is
right. That to me is a tough road, but also I give anyone transgender a lot of props for trying to like they know what they want, so they go and they achieve it, and they do that because they know that's what makes them happy.
right.
You have to be happy at the core of everything that you do. If you're not happy, how are you going to live your life?
Right.
Yeah, and I give everybody, the best, but I know it can't be easy because people aren't fair and people aren't nice and they're not good to you.
Right. Well, because it's it's a missing empathy.
Right, because you're not that. I am not transgendered, so and especially depending on where you live in the United States, everybody has a different outlook. So you're dealing with all that.
This is the thing I realized recently with I think the way people fight is a lot of times we'll get hurt and then we try to explain to our partner how we feel, and rather than just make it enough that we're hurt, we try to come up with an example of, well, how would you feel if I did this to you? And the thing is, a lot of times, I've bumped into this, where somebody says, how would you feel if I did it to me? And go, well, obviously it wouldn't bother me, which is how we ended up in this situation. So all you need to say to me is that what I did hurt you, and then that's enough. You don't need to make me be in that position because I can't ever feel what you feel.
Right.
I would love.
It would be nice if something was that simple,
Right.
but not everybody's nature is to do that.
Right.
And sometimes, as someone's significant other, you have to make. Again, you choose your fights.
Sure.
You wait until the fire goes down, and then you.
Right. But it's
wait,
like,
but some people may never change. They may stay the same.
Yeah.
They have the same opinions.
but for the most part, people are not like. I mean, there's obviously when somebody's trying to hurt you, and everything else is kind of like a misunderstanding and like of how you view the world or how you were raised, and it's just a lot of like arranging those misunderstandings so that everybody knows how it happened and how it should not happen again, and how if it goes this way, that how it makes you feel, because we don't have that information. Like,
No, I agree. It's funny that you would say about understanding and misunderstanding. When my father passed away, I didn't understand why he was so angry all the time, and it took time for me to know why. And then I started to realize how he was raised and all the things that he went through, and then everything made sense. You don't realize until you look at the whole picture what the obvious answer is.
Right.
Because we don't know.
Yeah.
You as an individual don't realize all the circumstances that lead up to way one person reacts to who you are or
Right.
what you do.
Yeah. Have you ever been in one of those situations where it feels like you don't have all the information, like the pieces aren't fitting,
Yeah.
and then sometimes you never get the answer. Sometimes years later, months later, days
Yeah.
later, you find that little piece that's
You're
all, and you
like,
go,
"Oh."
that's why
Yeah, 'cause
this whole thing, and now I accept it because I can understand it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is.
I mean, that goes with everything in life. It takes one step at a time, and maybe what you believed at one point will change over time because you learned a little bit from somebody else.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, and then part of me feels like, also, the older I get, the more I'm just tired, and I don't want to. I don't want to fight.
No,
And
I'm with you on that.
it's just like-
we go back to let's just be kids again.
Yeah. It's like there was I'm trying to think if there was a heyday. I haven't had this in a while, but there was a heyday as kids where you could have the worst blowout fight with your best friend, split up for a while, and then it just blows over because you don't even remember what the thing was. And as an adult, we don't do that as much. We go, no, I don't talk to him anymore. He's out forever. And families do this a lot, right? This whole like, you're dead to me vibe, right? But kids don't do that. You've never seen a kid standing across the room going, you're dead to me, right? Like, it's not, they realize it's not forever. It's not the worst thing.
I don't know. I can't answer that question because I really don't know how I feel about that in particular because everybody goes through different experiences that change them.
Yeah. Have you written somebody off for life?
No, I'm not that type of person. I
Yeah.
don't think I write people off. I mean, I'll give you a chance, but you come
Yeah.
back and you're an asshole the second time.
Right.
Asshole don't change.
I have this old Italian man just kind of like in control of parts of me, and so like every once in a while he'll just jump in and he'll be like, they're out forever, they're out of your life, and I'm like, no, get back in there. We can work this out probably, but he's in there. I can feel him, and the older I get, I was just talking about this to somebody. They were talking about how their horse is like 20. Or some like crazy horse age. I don't really know how long horses are
I
supposed
don't
to
know
live.
either. I can't help you with
So,
that.
so it was a crazy horse age, and they were talking about how like grumpy. He's just a grumpy horse. He's like, yeah, he's had it. He's like, everything hurts. He doesn't want to deal with your shit. He doesn't want you to ride him. He's done. He's just got the old angry horse in his head. That's going, get off my back. I did everything I was supposed to do. It's just something about age that's beautiful. Yeah.
I mean, that is a good analogy because I guess when I look back on my family members as they got older,
Yeah.
you're like, don't ask her to come over. She's going to yell at us.
Right.
She's coming in the house. Be quiet because she's angry today.
Right. And it's a good example of like kids understanding like that people are who they are. When we get older, we think that we're intellectuals and we think that like we can like get over it or that people should be able to be what we want them to be for us. Right? So I've seen people get angry in their life because friends of theirs didn't react the way that they wanted when a tragedy happened to them. And some people have to run and hide because they don't know how to deal with pain, tragedy, whatever. Like one of my cousins, was a third cousin. His father died before I even had met him, and his best friend was not there for the process, and he like held a big grudge for a long time. And then I met the friend, and I was like, this guy, he just doesn't have that emotional capability. So you were asking too much of him to
Yeah.
expect that he could be the person to be there and hold your hand. Because some people are never going to be those people.
I agree with you. I've seen it before.
Yeah.
I mean, what you said, I've seen in a similar situation, and everybody's built differently, and it's not that he didn't care. It's probably because, like you said, it's not. I go back to your nature of how you deal with things. Everybody's
Right.
different.
Right, and us me and my cousin navigating that space helped us realize, because I was young and in a weird relationship at the time, and then it just really, it's set in stone that some people, you can't expect more than what you get, and sometimes that's, and then you got to decide in your life if you're going to take it or leave it.
Right.
Because it could go, you can stay in there, but if it's just going to keep punishing you, sometimes you got to bail.
If you're that miserable, again, we said if you know you had enough.
Right.
What do
You know when you had enough. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, because but the problem I think now, it seems like people do the push away to pull closer. And because everybody has the ability to meet somebody on their phone, they don't have to do a lot of work to meet a new person. The push away to pull you closer doesn't work anymore. So the game of like fake breaking up, which used to be a thing that would bring people back together, because now they know what they've lost. I think now people are just go, okay, well I quit, or like they don't want to try.
I don't envy that.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I went back to how long my husband and I have been together, and I wouldn't want to go through that. I don't know how I would deal with it, and I probably still would go old school. And if there was, I would push you away before I pulled you in.
Yeah.
Because I have to know that. I want to know that I'm worth it.
Right.
Am
Did
I
you have
worth-
that? Did you break up a ton?
Yeah.
On the way?
No, not a ton, but we did break up and separate. But
Yeah.
we were apart, and then when we got back together, it was just that was it.
Right.
So.
Is it because? What do you think? What clinched it? Was it seeing what other things were out there that were not good fits, or was it the notion of what it would be to not have this person? What was for you?
Me, I think it's the notion of not having that person, because once you have your friend, you don't want to be without them, even though they piss you off, they do shit you don't like. You still, it is what it is. Nobody's relationship is absolutely perfect.
Right.
So we all make mistakes. And sometimes I'm going to punch you. I'm going to want to punch you in the face.
Yeah.
But I still
I like how
love
you changed it. Sometimes I'm going to punch you. I mean, going to want to punch you in the face. I forgot that we're recording. I don't punch anybody. I would
I
never
don't
punch
care.
anybody.
You were recorded. I've said it to a million of my best friends. It's a true thing. And any person that's in a relationship knows exactly what I'm talking about. Because the person you love is the one you can be just damn mad at.
Right. Right. Because especially like when you get to that phase where you predict what's gonna happen before, and then it happens, and you're always like, the worst.
He's gonna say this. I know
The
it. Oh
worst.
shit, he's saying it. Oh.
Son of a. You know what? What I thought was really fun. Netflix has put out a show called it's something like Hanging Out with Myself or Living with Myself, something like this.
Oh yeah, I saw that on the morning news.
Yeah, and it's I can't think what this guy's name is right now. Paul Rudd.
Yes.
Ant-Man.
Yes.
And what the story is on the outside is he clones himself accidentally. And this is all I'm not spoiler alerting anything. And then what happens is the clone is just happier to be alive. So he goes in for a spot treatment, and the people that come out of the spot treatment are just happy to be alive, and it's because they're physically a new actual person. So they don't have any of the shit weighing them down. But what it ends up being is the guy's married. And so what the story ends up actually being is it's a slower story of how kind of shitty we become and how jaded we become of even the people that we would be crushed to lose, and how much we start to neglect those people. Because he's literally, at one point, he's like, it becomes clear that the other guy, that's him, is better him. So it's this really fun, almost discussion on what happens over the course of a long relationship and who we kind of should be and then who we become and how we almost end up not being good enough for our own partners.
I don't know what to say about that.
It's a fun
Tis
show.
life, my dear. We all got a polka.
It's a fun show, and it really, even as not a married person, it made me really romanticized.
It's going to be
being in
hard
love.
for me because it is Paul Rudd. I don't know why I like him and I don't like him.
Yeah,
I have a very.
but that's fine, and it works for the show. That's why it's so well cast. You know when sometimes you like somebody, you hate them, but then they get cast for this specific role, and it works. Like Nicolas Cage. I think Nicolas Cage is terrible, but then they put him in this movie where he was he had OCD. It's called Matchstick Man, and he was brilliant because he's a weirdo. Oh, and the Weatherman. He's a weirdo. And that's who he really is. So it fit, and I was okay with it because he needed to be weird and a little bit creepy and a little, you know what I mean? And that's why Paul Rudd is good in this, because there's moments where you're just like, fuck this guy, you know? So you got to check it out. It's really fun. I don't know why. I feel like Netflix needs to give me money after that whole thing. But it's funny. I binged it and it was great. But it really is a good look at like the life of a relationship through the eyes of one person's whatever.
I'm going to give it a shot. I'll try. I always try one or two.
And I think it's like a 30-minute show, so it's like you get a couple in before you really like have committed, and it's because it happens so fast. And so much happens so fast. It's cool. And they keep flipping perspective. Because the main character is both of the people.
Right.
So it's cool. Anyway.
But it's cool.
You said you watched yourself in a explaining a sex party. Is that what it was?
Well, no, I couldn't watch myself in a sex party because I'd be in it.
But you said something about how you realized how informed you were and how you were able to like teach people. What was this about?
Oh, yeah. So I belong to a local swing club. And the owner asked me, would I do a podcast like we're doing right now? And we just got into a lot of conversations about how you got in the lifestyle, where you were, what, how can you help people that are getting into the lifestyle and help with interest and like focus. And it was just a really good time because I realized how much I had from the time I was 20, 23, I'll give or take 20, to now I'm 47.
Yeah.
My outlook between that time, how I have, I guess, my outlook has changed and also kind of zeroed in on what I like.
Yeah. So, I mean, you've mentioned a couple of times that you like to watch.
Yes.
So this is why this is a big part of the swing party thing. This is some stuff going on. There's always some stuff going on around you.
Oh yeah, I love watching people.
And you like to watch.
And I think it's most people like to watch.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's the basis, right? Of
nature of it.
Of pornography is to see two other people, and I think the thought process, like on some level, is that's kind of me, or that could be me.
Right.
But I think when we're watching, at least when I'm watching, speaking personally, I'm okay that that's two other people. I'm not trying to be him. I'm okay that that's him. And so that moment, the voyeur. Which side is that? That's the voyeur. Mm-hmm. Right.
You're just a watcher.
Yeah. There's a humanity to it that I think we don't address as much. Because how many opportunities do you really have to watch people most people that if they don't go to swing parties, they're not like watching their friends have, you know what I mean? So they don't have this situation very often. So what is your advice for that tiptoeing into that space or jumping headfirst into that space as if somebody who's never been there?
I guess it depends on if you're single or a couple.
Right.
And then once you figure out is it a single or a couple, then you couples, conversation, communication, singles, respect.
Yeah.
If you want to be accepted by another couple as a playmate,
Yeah.
the best thing you can do is be very respectful to the other male or female in the group.
That's like a nugget of wisdom, because it really is like, because it is that moment. Well, because that's the whole thing is like, as I guess as the single, as the add-in, like you need to be able to understand and preserve the other two people that have an ongoing situation,
Right.
and not meddle with that.
Right. This isn't about you
Right.
in a long-term relationship with that male or female.
Right.
It's about you being a part of the couple.
Right. And it's interesting because I think most of dating is me. I didn't. Well, I wanna. And so to then go into that that other role, that like, I guess helper role.
Yeah, because again, it's back to fantasy. That maybe the couple wants to create, and by creating a respect between the couple and the single, then you have that intimacy that you can have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It doesn't always turn out that way, and it's a tricky thing because there has to be a lot of communication.
Right.
Things can go wrong.
So as a couple, you have to walk in with like set boundaries. Would you say?
I agree.
Is that what it is?
I think you should talk about it before you get there, because it can go disastrously wrong and be very uncomfortable.
Right. Because you don't want to be like, hang on, we had a conference. Hang on. Okay.
No, you can't do that. It's better just to talk.
Right. You got to know what situation arises, how we're going to handle it.
I think it doesn't matter whether or not you're in the swing lifestyle or just dating. I think if you're upfront, at least that way you've already stated what your intentions are.
And this is a piece of dating that's mostly missing.
Yeah, because you got to say, I want to have a serious relationship. I want to be married and have children. Well, if you don't tell that person that and you date for 6 to 8 months and find out, oh, I don't want to have kids, that's a problem.
Right.
You know, or you go into a swing lifestyle and you're like, well, I want to have, sex with your wife, but, you can't watch.
Right.
The two
Right.
sides.
It doesn't. Right. It doesn't. And all the pieces have to fit. But yeah, I think dating one-on-one, you would be amazed at how little communication.
Well, probably because
happening.
you're afraid of disappointment because you don't want to disappoint the other person, because by being very open, you're going to scare them away.
Right, because you go, this is right. This is everything, right out of the gate.
Yep.
That's yeah. I mean, that's
I'm sorry.
it. Yeah.
Because I've been married for so long, like I said, I don't envy anyone that's single, because it takes about a minute, and it only one wrong move, and then you're not going to have. If you're interested in a relationship, you could be a disaster.
The biggest problem is people are on their best behavior for a period of time.
Oh yeah.
And eventually that goes away. So I'm on my worst behavior from go. Like I'm like whatever. Like I figured out how I am, and I'm just gonna be that.
Right.
Because if I like, it's almost like I'd rather scare you away day one, so that we both don't have to deal with the mess.
And that's a tough one too, because then you're almost being too.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
obvious.
so I'm not right. But it's also like put everything that could be a problem right out of the gate, so that there's no surprise. There's no like, oh, I didn't know you interviewed porn stars, or I didn't know that you know what I mean?
Yes, I see where you're going with that. I don't have an answer for you.
Yeah, no. I'm not looking for an answer. I'm saying this is the strategy. This is the strategy of the circumstance, which is.
I know when I've done video with some of the young men in the industry, they'll be like, well, my girlfriend knows what I do.
But.
Yeah, exactly. But she's calling every 10 minutes whenever you're shooting.
Right.
So there's obviously an issue, or she wouldn't be calling every 10 minutes.
Right.
She's not either trusting me, or she's not trusting you to do your job.
Right.
So I can't help you with that. Then you have to, if you're in this type of industry, you have to be with a person that's going to absolutely. Yeah. I'm okay with this.
I've met
you
so
have
many.
To be okay with
I've
it.
met so many people in this business who have sidelined themselves because of a relationship that they wanted to get into, and the person couldn't handle it like they were supposed to, and so then they just kept minimizing their role in this industry, and a lot of times these people end up coming back once that relationship dies and stuff like that. It's like, it's just sad because I don't think it's just the porn industry. I think it's like. That's what people do in relationships, is every part of them that their partner doesn't like, they just minimize. But that part of them's still in there. I agree. And it's dying to feed, you know?
Yep, and I agree. No,
right.
No doubt.
So the push at the end of the episode is always how do we pay for porn? Why do we pay for porn? Please pay for your porn. You pay for coffee. You pay for your Netflix. The content's out there. Please spend money to get your hands on it. Let's get the performers paid. How can we find your content? How can we follow you? How can we pay for your porn?
Well, you can come to my OnlyFans page OnlyFans, The Real Ashton Blake is available. And just an FYI, it will be available for $0 buy-in for the next week. And then after that, we're going to start putting more heavy content on there. So if you want boy, girl, interracial, I'm all doing that. Twitter's at Sexy Ashton Blake, and my Instagram is The Real Ashton Blake.
Boom. Got them all. We have a new episode every Sunday. We're on iTunes or Google Play, whatever platform you're on. We're on that thing. We got some content today from YouTube. I'm gonna try to challenge you to like a physical challenge. We have something for Instagram in a second here. Maybe we do like a 1 minute thing where you maybe are better than me at. We'll figure out what it is. Well, check out the BTS content for that. I did a booty shape contest earlier. I did like a chubby bunny with like carrots. We're gonna figure it out. But so check out for that. We're opening up a Patreon where you want to hear what you guys are interested in, and we want to open the Patreon so that we hear directly what kind of content you guys want us to focus on. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you to my guest. I'll take that. Come back and listen to us every Sunday, guys. Thank you so much.